Hey guys, welcome to The Beat Goes On. I am Larry, and tonight we are doing a Choose Your Own Flavor of Madness interview. I have got 4 random musicians, 3 from bands of the local community, 1 who is currently looking, and we're going to start to my left. Please introduce yourself, sir.
This is Ted Beer. Actually, I'm a Soren from the band St. Madness.
This is Brett Cullen from the Black Sheep.
I guess I'm the one that's looking, Mike Fagan. Good evening, everyone.
I'm Steve in Bradford. I run a couple of programs for disabled veterans with music, and I'm also in the Black Sheeps with Brett over there.
So we're going to start with you, Steve, because I want you to tell us a little bit about those programs for veterans that you work with.
So several years ago, I came across, I had severe PTSD. I attempted suicide 3 times. I was successful twice, where I actually had to be resuscitated. And there just came a point in life where nothing gave me pleasure whatsoever. I was just miserable. And then a group named Guitars for Vets came by, and it was a 12-week program where they give you a free guitar at the end. And it re-inspired music in me that was dead. I mean, I had been playing in a band since I was in freshman year of high school. And so they reignited that flame, and later on I had an opportunity to start my own music program that includes all instruments rather than just only guitar. And my main focus, it's called Instruments, the number 4, Success. And I am a program of the nonprofit, The Honor House. And so I focus on guys that have addiction issues, that are suicidal, severe PTSD. And I like to save lives and heal people. And Brett over there is pretty much my first veteran that his wife got a hold of me and said, "Hey, my husband's in bad shape. Can you help?" And it kind of goes from there. I don't know if you want to jump over to Brett or if you want to tell.
Let's go ahead, Brett. Why don't you go ahead and tell your story?
Well, yeah, where this started out for me was, I got hooked up with Honor House and Stephen, and shortly after that happened, there was, Stephen got a hold of one of the people from the news channel, just by happenstance, and they needed someone for an interview, so I did it. At that point, I was in the Guitars for Vets program, just getting pretty close to finishing it. I myself used to be a musician like 20 years ago. I was, something kind of big on the scene, and then wife, family, ended up in the Army. Things kind of
That's
went
a
astray.
story a lot of y'all can actually attest to.
Yeah. And, when they came and got me, I was really not doing well. I came back with traumatic brain injury, severe PTSD. Actually, when Stephen found me, I couldn't even play. Didn't remember how to at all. So, towards the end of that, they got this interview. Stephen was putting on a show coming up within the next week. And he's like, they asked, "Is he going to be in the show?" And he's like, yeah.
On the spot.
I literally graduated from the Guitars for Vets program on Thursday. Played my first show in over 20 years that Saturday.
Wow.
And it's been nonstop ever since then. We sometimes play the VA facilities. We've played on the 5th floor of the mental ward, which was kind of funny because both of us have been involuntarily committed there at one point. So
It's kind of like coming home, I know.
it was actually kind of a triumph for me. It's like, my memories of this place are really bad, and to be able to go back and, show the people that, hey, this isn't the end of it for you.
Right.
Right.
I'm kind of like in the deep immersion program. I kind of just like shoved me off the ledge. Okay, go perform. The week after that, we got another gig, and we're always with us, since we kind of poach band members from other places, since not all the people that we work with can always be together at the same time, or get together for rehearsals. So, we started off with Tommy Phelps, he passed away this summer. That was kind of a real blow for us. Actually, it was a blow for the music community here in Phoenix, just in general. After him, we picked up Vince Thrill from Public Enemy #1, and he's done a few shows with us. And most recent show we did, we had Lucia from The Fallen.
Nice.
Wow. Oof. She's insane, man.
Was Vegas involved in that weekend too? Because that sounds like a lot of fun one time.
And Tony Noyes, we're coming for you, dude.
Oh yeah,
We're coming for you.
With James.
Yeah.
You know Tony.
James Graves, we're coming for him too.
Unchained.
and Ken and Christy. Yeah.
Well, if you're looking at Unchained, there is Petio is pretty good as well.
Yeah. He's good.
So, Mr. Mike, how about you give us a little bit on yourself?
On myself, Arizona, about 40 years off and on. Old musician here in town, not playing currently, but thinking about it, except the summer's coming and I don't stay for the summer anymore.
What, you bail on us in the summertime?
Yeah.
Snowbird.
Oh my God.
Spokane, Coeur d'Alene.
Well, okay, I really can't complain because I know those places, so...
Seattle, if you really can't find what you're looking for.
I'm in Seattle. Yeah, I'm actually from Everett, Washington.
See, and I was born in Renton.
Oh.
So
I rode down in Everett by the Home Depot where the little store is.
Oh, that's not a good place.
No.
yeah, we don't want to admit to Everett. Nobody. That's almost as bad as admitting to Tacoma.
Pretty much.
So if a band was looking for you, what would you be? What's your genre or
genre would be 70s, 80s, 90s rock, classic rock into the 90s Vertical Horizon, stuff like that, on to the metal that developed. Ozzy, Stones, Who, all that kind of stuff.
Well, I seem to recall you mentioning something about wanting a Foreigner tribute band.
Yes, I would love to start a Foreigner tribute band. If there's a Lou Gramm out there, we already know there's a Mick Jones.
Desperately seeking Lou Gramm.
Desperately seeking Lou Gramm. Press 1 pound.
So if there's a Lou Gramm out there, you need to look Mike up. Mike, tell him where to stalk you.
Probably where the tequila's being sold. I don't know. Where are they looking for me now?
If they're interested
Through
in
you or me or whoever.
through Facebook, they can find you on
yes.
Facebook as
your name?
your name.
Mike Fagan.
There you go.
I think it's Michael on Facebook. If I'm not
No, it's Mike.
Is it?
It is Mike.
Only mommy called me Michael.
Oh, sorry. I stand corrected.
So let's jump over to Mr. Ted. How about some of your background and what's going on in your world?
Well, just moved here a year and a half ago from Denver, and the band that I was playing with out in Denver, I was playing with a gentleman by the name of Steve Van Person, who was the original lead guitarist for St. Madness. So I was actually familiar with St. Madness before I moved here. And the first show I went to was St. Madness, and checked them out, and apparently they were looking for a guitarist, and I was looking for a band, so it was a good fit. So
Good timing.
So other than that, I mean, been working and playing and learning songs.
And of course, everybody knows my story. I am Larry. I am fresh into the music scene, 9 months in, and doing the best I can to keep supporting the bands, especially in this crazy time, as well as soon as we can, supporting the bars and getting everything back up and running as soon as they say we can. So let's jump to the fun portion of the night. Not that we haven't been having fun before we started recording this.
Are you going to break out a ukulele?
I am not going to break out a ukulele. The only instrument that I play is that phone right there. There is a reason the band stuff is all downloaded onto my phone, so I can play music no matter where I am. And that is my personal way of dealing with madness. My personal flavor of madness is music. And doing everything I can to reach out and support the bands and keep everything going. So we're going to go back to Ted. How are you dealing with this beautiful shutdown? What are some of the struggles you and your band are going through, and how are you getting through them?
We haven't been, the last couple of weeks, we haven't rehearsed because there's, Pat actually mentioned or Prophet mentioned in the last interview that he has a immune system deficiency. So we're kind of, being cautious and not rehearsing right now.
Right.
For the last couple of weeks, it's kind of a week by week case now as far as how we're going to rehearse. So
right.
So I've been rehearsing on my own, just playing, keeping in touch with the guys and everything, just
right.
Staying at home other than going to work. So
because some of us still have to get up and go to work every day.
Right.
Isn't that lovely?
Right.
So are you guys, by any chance, looking at sometime soon doing a live video feed if Prophet is feeling that he can safely do that?
It's kind of up in the air right now. I don't see us doing that in the near future, but it's hard to say. I mean, it would be up to.
So
the whole band.
Is this a matter of me reaching out to Prophet and going, please, sir?
Yeah. Actually, Prophet will be the one to talk to.
So Prophet, please, sir, may we have another?
Yes, sounds good.
So let's jump over to Brett. What are you doing right now in this time of life shutdown?
Well, right now, this is kind of tough. I mean, I just watched my whole schedule just kind of clear up in an instant, like overnight. All of a sudden, all the stuff that was going on isn't. But really, for us, what we've been doing is pretty hectic. So it's nice to, have a little break.
Right.
One of the things that we keep running into is, when we're trying to get something together, we have to get together and rehearse, and sometimes we may not have much rehearsal time. It kind of limits the stuff you can do. If you want to try and do something a little bit more complex, a little bit higher on the scale, you got to have the time to practice it. So
right.
For us, though it really kind of sucks seeing, we just came off of a really great performance at Hooper's with Fallen, and now we're back to square one,
Right.
But like I say, I think it'll be really good, give us a chance, learning more songs, building up our repertoire so that we have more stuff.
Now, do you guys do covers or originals or a combination of?
Well, actually, we do mostly covers, but like with this little break that we got here, we've been talking about doing some originals and stuff like that. So this is one of those things where, we're just having fun with this, so we'll go in any direction that we feel, is going to be fun, or, if this is going to sound good, all right, we're going to do it. So this gives us a chance to, experiment, try some stuff.
Right.
Really, we've been polishing our act from the beginning, we started off kind of, and now we're getting kind of good.
Well, and it can't be easy to constantly find and be gelled when you're constantly having to bring in new members to fill empty slots. How do you guys work with that?
I think, between me, Stephen, and Dane is the usual drummer that we have. We've been doing this together for so long, it's real easy for us to kind of provide the backbone. We've synced up with each other real good. And the fact that we're doing this almost every other week kind of helps.
Right.
We get a lot of practice at this.
Right.
People just throw stuff at us. Okay, perform in a week. Sure.
Who's the singer? Who's this? What songs are we gonna do? We have a rotating set list that's just like you spin the wheel. And yeah, that one. This one. You know, and they're not super complicated songs. They're a lot of 3-chord, songs, but we're dealing with people with brain injuries, traumatic events. So they're still good enough to get it going, and then as you progress, you can throw some lead in there that's a little bit tricky, and we're into some complicated stuff now, like Vandenberg and
that Vandenberg song, Burning Heart.
Burning Heart.
We did that.
It kind of depends on your singer, like where you can go. Like with Lucy from The Fallen, like the sky's the limit. She goes wherever. She's a rocket ship, so it's whatever, Other people, they have a lower range, whatever, but everything's fun, everything's cool.
Yeah, it's always fun, and it never gets boring or old because we're always working with something different. So it's not like, oh, geez, I don't want to play this song again. There's a point where if you've been doing it for a while, every night you're doing the same set list where you just get like, oh, I'm just burnt out.
I've actually had musicians say that there are certain songs that they never ever want to play again because they have had
Mine
to
is
play
Paranoid
them.
by Black Sabbath. I covered it in 3 different bands, and I can't stand it anymore. It's a great song. Musically, it's just, I don't want to perform it anymore.
So, Mike, let's jump back over to you for a minute. Right now, you are not in a band, so you are the other fan in this group.
I'm the fan of all the
You are.
members of the group.
What are you doing to get through this time? Because the bars are all closed. The places that we go out to, that we rely on to get our entertainment, are not there right now. How are you getting through this?
Kleenex for the crying. Tequila for the soul. I didn't buy a lot of toilet paper, but I did buy a lot of tequila. And I have an ice maker, so
You're pretty good with that. At that, you're set at that point. I know that it's been difficult for me because I'm out every Friday or Saturday night because I'm out watching a band, videoing a band, helping get their music out there.
posting posters.
Posting posts constantly. Last Tuesday was the first Tuesday that I didn't have to do a shout out for, hey guys, who's got a show this week? And it was like weird for me. Things that have become my standard, I've got to get up and do this. This is my reason that I get out of bed today, this is what's got to happen. They aren't there. Most of my interviews have had to cancel because somebody's got a health issue or somebody's got a health concern. So I'm like, crap, I don't even have interviews other than like the impromptu ones like this one. So yeah, my life has come to, other than my day job, damn near screeching halt. And if I didn't have all the music on my phone, because as we all know, I'm spoiled, and the bands just happen to email me music on a regular basis for the other podcasts. So I've always got music, but I don't have the interaction. I don't have. This is the first time I have gotten to sit down with anybody from our music community since last Saturday last Sunday when I sat down and interviewed St. Madness. And it's like, I was like, crap, I don't know what to do with myself. Holy cow. Other than create my own flavors of madness.
We have the same amount of people here as Price is Right would have. You've had Vanna, and what's his name?
Vanna's not Price of Right. She's Wheel of Fortune.
Wheel of Fortune. There we go. Vanna and Pat, and then you'd have 3 contestants.
There we go. We've got our own Wheel of Fortune.
Well, for us, the music's on hold.
Everything.
The instruments program, most of the work we do is at the VA hospital.
Right.
Which is
on
now
shutdown.
inaccessible. So we are just kind of in limbo at the moment.
Have you guys done any of the live video feeds like other bands are doing? Have you thought about doing that?
Well, someone contacted me from the Concerned Veterans of America, and they want to do something, collaborate something, and promote it. I asked Lucy from the Fallen to sing for us. She said she's going to wait about 2 weeks just to kind of play things safe, and
Right.
Which is smart. And it'll probably take that long to coordinate it. Like, Brett's looking at me all like, oh, here we go again. But that's kind of like,
Brainstorming without
I call Brett. I'm like, hey, we're doing a show. Who do you know, like,
we are.
now I like pass some of the work to him, and that's part of the healing process, which is cool. I'm like, should we include this guy, like, or this person, or what have you? But so yeah, we're working with them. We're going to try to do a live show, try to make it a veteran thing. I was looking at Band Oasis.
Yeah, Saturday, Band Oasis has got that live video feed that they're doing. Definitely check it out. I know that we've got the owner of Band Oasis as a member of the local beat, so you can get in contact with him or Jim Stark. They both have information on that. I'm probably going to be stopping by on my way home from work since it's just literally on my way home. Yeah. So I'll be stopping by after 5 on Saturday to see what I can do to lend a hand with that.
So if I can ask a favor, I like, during this time, and I know a lot of people are having rough times, but I know Band Oasis had a lot of cancellations. My aunt literally lives over the brick wall from them, so I stopped by the other day, and I donated a few bucks to James. So like if anybody else feels, the urge, they can do that. We're just trying to, like, on a daily basis. I am also out helping my Vietnam veterans that are on oxygen. So I'm doing it safely. I'm disinfecting. I got the spray hands and the mask. So I'm actually helping out elderly veterans also at the same time, bringing them food, toilet paper, and that's through Honor House is allowing me to do that with the credit card and stuff. So,
right.
So I was hoping to get with James, and maybe he could be glad enough to host that live performance for us. And maybe you could be there.
Yeah, check in with him. I know that James decided to take some self-space during this time and get back to nature for a little bit.
Okay.
So he's in communication and checking in with me as internet allows for it. But he's pretty much enjoying his little nature hike right now. And I was like, good on you, but dude, if you ever leave town without letting me know again, I'm probably going to hurt you for that. Right. People don't realize how seriously I take it. My friends, my bands. I'm not kidding when I call y'all my bands, because you just became under my shelter. And so I look out and I check in, and if I don't see bands posting, or if I don't see somebody posting, then I'm reaching out to them personally going, hey, you good? Don't need to know the background story, just need to know you're good. If you're not good, then I need to know that too. But I'm keeping in contact with the bar owners, like I said. I'm keeping in contact with the bands, because we need to get you guys back up and running just as soon as we can.
I'm missing that live feel. I mean, that gets to be like a Jones for it. It's like, okay, we haven't done a performance in a few weeks here, and now I'm starting to feel like a junkie who hasn't had a hit.
Doing one or watching one.
It's
the worst part is not knowing when this is,
how long it's going to take. Yeah. And I think that's something everybody has in common. It's one of the reasons that I'm not the only one. It's one of the reasons so many people are shouting out about let's keep the music rolling any way that we can, because if nothing else, the music is a distraction. Mm-hmm. And it's a happy distraction most days. But it gives us something to look forward to, and that's kind of necessary right now. I know you work in a field that's pretty much not going to shut down.
Right.
I work in property management. It's pretty much not going to shut down. We have to be there for the residents. But I've got residents walking in my door all day long, freaked out and panicked, because a good 50% of my residents work in the food industry. And
A lot of contact.
they do not know how they're going to pay their rent. And, so I look forward to my band time. I do. I absolutely look forward to this community. It is as stressful as it can be. It is the band time, the music time is how I can shut off the switch to that other world and sink into something else and not have to be stressed out about this single mother that I know isn't getting the hours that she needs to get, or that retired veteran who isn't getting his caregiver
Music
coming
matters.
A lot of the people that we work with are not in the best situations. So,
Right.
During a stressful time like this, it's like, you're really worried about them.
Yeah.
And now, times like these are good times where you got to watch out for people maybe being suicidal, and so I do a lot of reaching out lately, and that's what I wanted to say about the music community is that I found when there's a speed bump in the road of life that the music community actually comes together, and that's super awesome. Like Danny from Led Zeppelin 4, he donates tickets so the veterans can go to his shows. Vince Thrill, he's always there for the veterans, performed at the VA.
Dead West.
Dead West. I mean, Donnie Matthews and Mickey donated tickets.
Steve and Lauren.
Yeah, I mean, people are just amazing, and I want to just thank everybody in the music community for helping my program the way they have and giving back and saving lives.
Yeah, I have to admit, the Phoenix music community is really something incredible here. I mean, I've met some of the most amazing people out there.
Yeah.
There's an incredible amount of talent out there.
Yeah.
That I'm not sure that people in the valley really understand what's out there for them.
10 shows a night.
Well, it's really funny because I don't know if any of you guys know who Sage Johnson is. Sage is the drummer for Exiled. He also plays with Kill Command. And I interviewed him about a month or so back. He's an incredible guy, absolute sweetheart. He messaged me a couple of Fridays back, and it cracked me up. He's like, hey, are you going to Gypsies tonight to see Moonbird and... Dang it, Moonbirds and Monsters. Thank you for remembering that band's name, because wow, I so didn't. And he's like, are you going to the show? And I'm like, well, it's Friday night, and I really wasn't planning on it. I'm kicked back in my recliner, thanks. And he's like, oh, well, you gotta go. And so I get up, get dressed, go to the show. He doesn't show. And I'm like, dude, you got me out of my recliner and you're not even here. And he says, well, I assumed you were going because you advertised for it. If anybody who isn't on my page, go check out the page. Every week on a typical week, you will see I advertise anywhere from 20 to 40 shows a week.
And that's amazing. I wanted to thank you for that. Because I'm like, Brett, what's going on tonight? And I go to yours, and I'm like, oh, okay, they're all right there. Which is awesome. Yeah,
notice I now pin it to the top, so it always stays at the top of the
Yeah.
feed. You can always, and it gets updated regularly. But yeah, I'm like, dude, Sage, hun, love ya. So not going to be hitting every show that I promote.
Right?
Can't.
One person. Even though I now have Penny who works with me, and we can now go to 2 shows a night between the two of us, or maybe 4 shows if we feel like driving. 4 out of 20 on a Friday night.
Yeah. Well, that's a common problem. There's a lot of times when people have been playing and it's like, we have a, coinciding gig on the same night. It's like, I'd love to be out there to support you, but I'm taking the stage too. So.
Right. And you have to be understanding about that. Last Saturday, I did the 6-month anniversary of the local beat down at Hooper's. And Friendly Gesture, one of my favorite bands that does covers. I love those guys. They're hilarious and they're phenomenal. And they were playing the Starlight the same night. I'm like, you guys suck. Alex Wood, I'm going to kick your butt.
Shows there. I remember Gypsy Rose that night with Scott and Red Room.
Well, and it was
10 shows a night in Phoenix.
Yeah, there's no way. I tell people on a regular basis the hardest part of what I do is choosing what bands not to go see.
It's a conflict.
Yeah,
it's an absolute conflict.
And there's a lot of tequila along the way.
You have bills where you're like, geez, apples and oranges. How do I choose?
Well, and there was a post on Facebook last night, and I do not remember the name of the poster, but the question was, pick your favorite local band.
Oof.
I'm like, you have got to be kidding me. There is no way. I can't. And then they're like, well, can you narrow it down to if you could only listen to just one? I'm like, dude, do you not know who I am? Because again, there is no way. There are bands in this community that genuinely hold a piece of my heart. There's no way that I could pick between them. It just doesn't happen.
You said your top 20. I saw what you posted.
Plus, you're part of the band family.
I could come up with a top 20, but that would be difficult.
There's not a number one.
Yeah.
There's no number one.
Right.
That's for me. Yes, the music matters, but when it comes to that, it's because of the relationships that I've built in this community. There's just no way. Let's jump over to Ted. You're always so quiet.
Right.
Oh my God.
I listen.
Because we talk too much.
Prophet's the word guy, not me.
And Prophet gives some very good words. Prophet is another one of those that absolutely holds a piece of my heart. That man came into my life over Facebook conflict. Not the conflict you're thinking of. Different Facebook conflict. Facebook drama.
Right.
And we built a friendship because of this Facebook drama, and that man has become such a huge support system for me. It's been amazing, and I've met him in person once. That's it, once. Same thing with Will Pleasant, the drummer for Waz, again. And now I've met him in person more than once. Got some great stories about Will. But again, such a support system. Why do I fight so hard? Because I have such incredible people standing behind me that I can't fathom letting them down. That's the weight that I carry, is if I drop a ball, I'm dropping a band. I'm not dropping a ball. I'm dropping 3 to 5 people if I do something not quite right. I can't do that. And not for lack of trying anyway. You deal with that same kind of stress and struggle. Because if for you, it's literally a possibility of life and death if you drop a ball.
Yeah, absolutely. Brett and I usually attend graduation for the inpatient residential treatment program. So first, the sad story. One of the more solid guys, he was like an elderly guy. We got him a guitar. He had his life all planned out. He was super happy. He had his wife. Had a support system. He knew where he was going. So I kind of let go of the leash and let him go. And found out like a month later he overdosed in front of a hotel room with a needle in his arm. So it's like even the strongest ones you got to keep checking in with. I can't remember my positive note. We hold an open mic at the VFW in Sunny Slope, Post 9400, every fourth Friday.
Yeah.
They ship the guys over from the residential rehab and the elderly guys. And one guy was having a real bad time, crying. He was bandaged up from attempting to slice his wrist, just having a terrible time, wanted to just walk away and leave, and some of the ladies from the VA are like, hey, can you come talk to this guy? And I'm like, yeah, absolutely. Chatted with him. He used to play songs to his little girl to go to sleep at night. Me and Brett came and saw him a couple weeks later and brought him a electric guitar, an amp, a cord, tuner, all that stuff. And this kid just lit up, and it was like, oh my God. And he's like, that's for me? No way, man. How much do I owe? He was going crazy. I'm like, no, dude, it's yours. It's free. It's for you. You got to promise me that you're going to love yourself and, just, love yourself because we love you, man, And so now he's a mentor for the new guys coming in, and he's a solid rock, and he's a happy guy. His eyes are not crying and red. He's just smiling from ear to ear every time I see him. So,
Magical music.
And now that I found out you're a veteran, bro, you're going to be in a band for some shows.
Oh, yeah.
And so, yeah, that's what it's all about. I mean, when you're actually literally saving lives, and Brett's my second in command, and dude, it melts my heart. I cry. I get emotional. I'm supposed to be this tough guy, but it doesn't work.
At the last show we did, there's one of the guys that we've been working with, Dale.
Yeah.
That was his, we've been working, he's been learning guitar and working on his vocals, and been kind of helping him along for a while now. The open mics and stuff like that, we get a chance to practice, and when we opened up for the Fallen, we had him do a number with us. So we got to be, this is his inaugural first time, live audience performance.
Oh, wow.
You guys know that the Starlight, once things open back up, the Starlight has an open mic night on... I'm going to have to double check with Alex on this, but I want to say that...
What's up, Alex?
It's Tuesday, Alex Wood. You're going to have to double check with me, but I want to say that it's every Tuesday night is open mic night where
Tuesday
they
or
open.
Wednesday, he's doing the
Wednesday is karaoke.
open mic
Tuesday.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, absolutely bring them down. Last time I went to it, Art Long jumped up on stage. James Stark got up there, brought his bongos for people to be able to join in with his bongos. It was actually a great night. Oh God, Jim, we love Jim.
He jammed some harmonica for us for
Starlight.
Starlight.
Yeah.
We were actually at the Starlight.
It's definitely a fun thing. It all again goes back to that thing. Music heals. Music is it is the glue, and it's the one thing that is, along with numbers, music is universal. You can find the same song being played around the world. Elvis is still played around the world.
There's secret codes and
We play it.
that stuff.
You look like you got something you want to jump in on,
No.
Ted. No? Just
I
getting...
was just saying that we play Elvis too.
Yeah.
So,
Well, as a matter of fact, I saw you guys play Elvis at the closing of Joe's Grotto.
Yep. Can't help falling in love with you. Our version of it.
Yeah. Music is amazing, and I'm sorry I cut you off. So.
I was trying to interrupt, but
I cut him off, so it's my fault.
when you say music heals, it's medically proven. I actually am working with a professor from ASU, and it actually reconnects those neural pathways. And it, even for Alzheimer's, dementia, it can almost stop that or even reverse it. So it actually does heal within your brain, and plus it makes you feel good.
Oh yeah. Well,
Yeah.
for me, I mean, this has been truly incredible. Every now and then, I'll whip out something that people are like, "Oh my God," and there's still that muscle memory in there. I still remember how I used to be an incredible player. Now I'm all right, but I'm working back towards incredible again.
Right. It takes time. It
and
takes time.
It's really incredible when it actually happens to you. You just all of a sudden, all the things that are blocking just kind of give loose, and those connections start to reestablish themselves. Like I said, it's been under a year for me, going from not playing at all to being out playing on the scene.
Right. Speaking
Look
of
at him.
playing,
Look at him smiling.
I know.
I used to not do
So
that.
you got a drummer, a lead guitar?
Speaking
No,
of playing,
rhythm.
I happen to
Rhythm
know
lead.
that we've got a couple of guitars
Bass,
sitting
okay.
in the
Lead
room.
singer?
How about can I get you guys back on the guitars for a few minutes for a part of this podcast so people can actually
I thought on
enjoy
that.
some of this music that we're talking about? Got two out. Where's...
You wanna play?
Huh? Right up the top of the stairs.
It's that ELP. Metallic?
Vandenberg.
Huh?
Vandenberg.
Oh, okay.
That you can play Metallica. I will not complain.
I'm a drummer. I won't be playing Metallica. But I do not. That's like almost a Don Dokken style, that same period.
You know that one too? Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Mm.
This is a personal favorite of mine.
Is that Randy or Zach?
Randy.
That's Randy, yeah.
Yeah.
I know a couple of years back I went to go visit my sister in California, and I got to wake up every morning to her husband, coffee already brewing, God bless JP, and him on his acoustic guitar playing Metallica. I was like, okay, I could absolutely get used to waking up to fresh made coffee and Metallica on the acoustic. Holy cow.
Oops.
What oops? There is
This
no
is kind of
oops
funny
in
because
music.
this is actually how stuff ends up on our set list. We'll be sitting around, just messing around. Somebody
You
will play
asshole,
something,
come
and
on,
if
try
it
to
sounds
do it.
good, we'll be like,
That's how we
okay,
use it.
throw it on the set list.
Off it seems.
Nothing wrong with that.
So I noticed Mike had a beautiful singing voice. What's a easy song everyone can play along with? And you can jam that lead throat.
Any Queen fans in the room?
Queen? Don't know much. I don't know much Queen.
Beatles? We did that. Oh,
Beatles are
Here.
pretty universally.
But,
Oh, go ahead.
Watch out for the golf ball.
Just EAND. And it needs to be for a turnaround. Come from the cities and I come from the smaller town. Bright dreams in our head and very little money in our hand. Some are black and some are white. It's try to sleep on the floor tonight with the blind faith in Jesus. Well, you know that they just might. I'm rocking in the USA.
Yeah.
What you got next, guys?
Shot of tequila, maybe.
We're choosing our own flavor of madness. And was that a hint you needed a refill on your shot, Mike?
I know that's the one. Here too. Oh yeah.
Incubus Drive.
What's the lyrics to that? I'm just blacked out on it from every. Oh, there's another one. I love that song. Also, time after time.
Baby, I'm
Time after time. I sit and wait for your call. I know I'm a fool. What can I say? Whatever the price I'll pay for you. Yeah, I got to ramble on, sing my song. I've been around the world to find my girl. Oh, my baby. In the summertime, I leave you in the summer comes along. Leave you in the summer comes along. Beautiful. Woo. Thank you, Mom.
Wow.
Oh, fuck,
Improv.
beautiful.
Dude, that was cool. We did like 3 songs at the same beat.
I have no idea if those are so similar, but yeah,
Everybody
I've
see
seen
the
that.
All right, we are going to wrap tonight up, guys. I really appreciate you guys coming out and braving the madness to come and join me and enjoy my favorite flavor of madness, which is the music. I hope you guys enjoyed your little impromptu concert and getting to hear a little background from these guys on how they're getting through the time. And I wish everybody a safe madness. Good night, everybody, and I thank you for joining into The Beat Goes On.